Hello and welcome to an episode of Historically Marked. I am Jason in the Hermosa neighborhood of Chicago, and I am staying in front of the house where Walt Disney was born. Yes, the one and only Walt Disney. Yes, he was actually born here before, being born in hospitals were a thing. I'll tell you more history about the Disney family and the whole history of this whole house and everything, and the church. Well, there's a story behind that. Stay tuned for that. The house, there is no marker in it or on the property, unfortunately. It's not even on the National Register of Historic Places. Why, I don't know. I'm sure there's pretty much a story behind that I don't know about, but hey, that's okay. But at least I'm here because I have visited his home in Marceline, his old studio in KC, his grave. So why not here in the great city of Chicago? All right, let me tell you all about it. All right, starting with the history of Walt Disney, the man himself. Was born December 5th, 1901, here at this house on Tripp Avenue. Walt was the fourth of 5 children and the fourth son of Elias and Flora Disney. So here's a little backstory on the Disney family, well, Walt's family. Here goes. His father, Elias, marries a gal named Flora Call in Kismet, Florida. Now, ironically, it is about 50 miles north of what would become his son's amusement park, Walt Disney World, in Orlando. Anyway, they got married on January 1st, 1888, New Year's Day, huh? The couple would live briefly in Akron, Florida, and would move to Chicago. Now, it wasn't here originally, it was actually south side, but I'll get into that in a second. The couple had 5 children, in this order: Herbert, Raymond, Roy, Walter, and Ruth. All of them lived to at least the age of 65. It was in Chicago that Elias went into carpentry. He would befriend Walter Parr, who would be a preacher at a congregational church that Disney would build near here. He would also be the man who inspired Elias to name his fourth son Walter. The church I am talking about is St. Paul's Congregational Church, which I'll show you later in the video. So, the Disneys moved to Chicago, and the first place they settled at was in the south side, near Washington Park. It was there that Elias found work as a carpenter for the 1893 Columbian Exposition, or the World's Fair. But in 1891, he would buy some land in the area I am standing in, which is Tripp. And so none of these were even existed at the time in the 1890s or early 1890s. When Walt was 4 years old, the Disney family moved to the small town of Marceline, Missouri, which I did a video on, of course. Apparently his father, Elias, grew very tired of the city, and he loved his job and all, but he wanted what was best for his family. One major deciding factor was crime. Yes, even back in 1905, crime was a big issue in cities like Chicago. So one of his neighbors with 2 adolescent children that were involved in a car barn robbery, that was one of the that was one of the final nails in the coffin. But Elias and Flora wanted to shelter their kids from that kind of thing, so he thought maybe a country style setting would settle the family down. So that's pretty much the backstory on the Disney family. So there have been many owners of this house since then, and nobody's living here right now, but it's privately owned. Now the restoration process is still a work in progress, because if you watch my KC video, they are going through the same challenges because they're trying to get this into like a landmark of some sorts. They are currently asking for contributions through their website, be it monetary or selling merchandise with Walt's name on it. They do have tours here. Now, I actually did tour, not tour it, but I tried to get a hold of the people in charge of the place, but through email, but I never heard back from them. So, but I'm sure I guess they do this on either the weekends or on occasion. But, I mean, that's pretty much all I can tell you. Now, I mean, I wish there was a way I can easily do it online, but like I said, that wasn't the case. But either way, if you just want to step in front of it, that's awesome. And I don't want to go past this door. Have faith in your dreams. A lot of donor bricks. I noticed a lot of places do that thing now. And here are some more donor bricks too. And there's some empty ones. So anybody who wants to donate to this place, yeah, I mean, this is definitely your, if you want to show them you care about Disney history, And like I said, it kind of blows my mind. Before I did this video, I actually ran to, by coincidence, a guy I went to high school with, a friend of mine, and I mean, we're friends on Facebook, but I knew he was in Chicago last night. He went to a White Sox game, but I didn't really think of, you know, getting a hold of him. But then I was like, then when I rode up here on that lime scooter, and then I saw him, I was like, wait a minute, that looks like Levi. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a shout out, Levi. It's great seeing you. But I mean, he's a Disney fanatic and all that, which is great because there's lots of them. But I was telling him, I said, you know, people spend millions of dollars each year on their families to go to their, you know, theme parks, watch his movies, Disney Plus, you name it, all of his properties, but yet they don't even know about the history of, like, when I went to his grave, I was the only person that was there 2 years ago, but right now I'm the only person here, but we were the only two here like 10 minutes ago. So yeah, it's really beyond crazy. It's not very often I run into somebody I know like 200 or 300 miles away. But if you do want to follow the progress, you can visit them on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, or even LinkedIn. Huh. And I'm sure there is one thing Walt would be appreciative of, would be this lending library. Anybody can take a book or leave a book, even one on Tupac Shakur. Okay. And I'll give you a little view of the side of the house as well. You know, there's probably not very much to see. Well, yeah. And that looks like the garage there. And yeah, I believe this is the garage that the Disney is parked in, but I don't know that for sure. But yeah, well, it matches the color of the house, so I guess it would be. Here's the back of the house. Yeah, it looks pretty nice even for back then. Like when I mean, I don't know what was added since then, but I'm sure this wasn't all there when Walt Disney's family moved out. Yeah, it kind of looks like from here, see that line right there, maybe they add to the back of it, or the house or something like that. All right, so here is the former St. Paul Congregational Church, where Elias Disney was good friends with the preacher who was named Walter. Now, the building is right here. It still stands at the corner of Belden and North Keeler Avenue, and it's not too far from the house. So it is now, I don't know how long it's been, it changed its name, but yes, this is what it's called now. But yeah, it still looks in pretty decent shape, and yes, I'm sure not a lot of people realize that, or even know that Walt Disney's father built this church. Unbelievable. All right, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Historically Marked. I am Jason in the Hermosa neighborhood of Chicago, Illinois, just outside Walt Disney's church when he was, well, an infant. So I am Jason, signing off.